Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. I know I'm the worst vlogger ever. It's fine. I'm here in my car because that's where I'm at right now. I'm supposed to be running and I'm not because it's noon and it's 90 degrees outside and I don't want to die, so I'm killing time. I promised like 2 months ago on my Instagram that I was going to make this video because I think people were pretty surprised when I quit my job, and I said that I was going to make this video, and every single time I've made it, something has gone wrong in the video, so I'm just going to remake it and hopefully make this really quick. I don't know. In case you haven't read the title, this is why I quit my job, and probably you should too. So I'm just going to go through like my talking points here because I want to like not bore you. Let me get started. Reason number one why I quit my job is it was a sales job and it wasn't my dream job anyway. So, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with sales. If you love sales, like, good for you. For me, sales was not my dream job, and it was just kind of like the circumstance, which I'll explain in a bit. I worked in a cell phone company. I'm not going to say the names of any companies I worked for. And they just had some products, you know, that they were pushing. It was a commission-based job, and I thought, like, hey, you know, maybe I'll be good at this. I had a similar job like 10 years ago, and it wasn't commission-based, but this one was, and I thought, like, well, I've done this before, so maybe I'll be okay. And I started doing it, but I realized that some of the things that they wanted you to push were not like really good products, and when you were able to sell them, a lot of times you'd find customers would return them because they don't know what those products are or how to use them. My managers had some like kind of weird, shady sales tactics. For example, my GM hopped on one of my coworkers' sales. She's a friend of mine, and she told me all about this, and she said that, you know, this customer came in wanting a Google Pixel 3, and at the time, the Google Pixel 3 was on sale. Now, my manager told my coworker, don't tell the customer that the Google Pixel 3 is on sale because it's going to save them $10 on their bill. Instead, add another product that's $10 a month to the sale and just tell them that they have to get it, and it'll be the same price as they currently pay per month. So they came in for the Google Pixel 3, which would have saved them $10 a month on their bill. But then they added a product that was $10 a month to make it equal. So the customer's not paying anymore for the second product, but they don't want the product, they don't need it, they don't know how to use it. And yes, it does boost your commission, but you're just attaching things. And the whole company has like this company credo where they talk about integrity and not pushing things on people, and I just don't really think that that's possible in a commission job. I don't think that there is integrity in commission jobs because people are just trying to make their commission. If you go into a place that's commission based, they're going to try to sell you whatever it is that they're supposed to be selling you, whether it benefits you or not. And that company can say over and over again how much they care about the customer, and they do, but they are, like, my manager was willing to do things that the company would not be okay with. So yeah, that kind of bothered me, and I was just like, I'm not gonna do that, you know, and I didn't, and my commissions were never good. Reason number two why I quit my job is kind of hard to explain. I'm gonna try to make this pretty simple. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I recently had a baby. By recently, I mean he's 11 months old now. But I was working as a flight attendant. I'm employed with an airline. Again, I'm not going to say which one. But when I got pregnant, I found out that they don't make you fly throughout your pregnancy because it can be dangerous, especially flying as often as flight attendants fly. And then once you have your baby, they give you what they call a bonding leave. Our schedules are crazy. I think the company just knows that having a baby means that you need to bond and have like that mother-child relationship be really, really strong. And I feel really lucky that our company does that. So I did take my year-long bonding leave. And I say all that to say this. during the time that I was on my bonding leave after I gave birth, I still needed an income. So I was looking for jobs locally. And I guess I thought at the time that if I found the right job, maybe I would leave the airline, because I just was thinking like my son deserves to have like a normal life and a normal mom that's home, like to tuck them in and like take them to school in the morning and help them brush their teeth and, you know, all of those things. So I was like, yeah, maybe like I'll find a career. And so I found this job and I started looking into the company, trying to figure out what I would do. And I slowly began to realize that you could not do anything in the company without really serving your time. They said that you could move positions or like be promoted after a year, but the only people that I know that got promoted after a year had relationships with a manager or something of that nature. Most people that were there had been there for years, hadn't moved up, even if they're qualified. I have a degree and could be used in a corporate environment. They don't really hire from outside for those types of positions. You have to work as a sales representative and move your way into it. And I think that that's bullshit. Like, why did I waste thousands and thousands of dollars to get a degree to not be qualified to work in my field? And you're going to give me a job I'm overqualified for. Most of my coworkers were overqualified for. They want you to work your way up. And why? Like, if you're qualified, like for example, my degree is in public relations. I could work in your media department, but I have to work in sales first. Why? After some time working there, I really realized that I didn't like the company culture, or at least the culture in my store. I knew that I couldn't work there for very long, and I knew they weren't going to let me transfer. So, yeah, I eventually just kind of decided that this wasn't going to be it, and I really wanted to go back to flying. Like, after some time off, I was like, man, like, it's a hard job, but it is so rewarding in a lot of ways. Like, the travel benefits alone are amazing. My son is going to benefit from being able to go to other countries and learn other cultures. And also, my husband is from a foreign country, and, you know, we're able to go there much, much easier now than we would if I didn't work for an airline. For us, you know, it's just, you know, what needed to happen. Reason number 3 is workplace drama, which I sort of touched on when I said that a lot of people who move up have relationships with managers, which is inappropriate. I don't even have to say that. Like, we all know that's inappropriate. One of my managers, she just had something against me from the beginning. When I got hired, as I said before, I've worked in this type of job 10 years ago for 2 years. So while things have changed, not a lot has changed. Some things haven't. But they don't want to train you. The main thing is learning the POS system. If you've never worked in retail, POS stands for point of sale. The POS system was difficult to use. It had a lot of glitches. And if I went to my managers and said, I don't know how to do this, they would be like, well, you just do this, this, and this, and that's it, you know? And I'd be like, well, how would you know? For example, you can't add insurance to someone's line while you are also upgrading or adding a line. I could do that 10 years ago when I worked in this industry. The software that they're using for their POS system gets overwhelmed very easily and cannot multitask. So if you try to add insurance and upgrade a line at the same time, forget multiple lines. It will just crash and your activation will fail, and you're going to end up having to call in to a help desk and wait and then hope that they can redo it for you. That's only half the problem. The other half of the problem is that your managers will go and talk shit about you, not to the other managers, but to your peers. Tara just doesn't get it. She has way too many questions. I don't know if she's going to make it here. I'm not gonna make it here because you're a bitch. I'm not the kind of person where I can't handle rude people, but my reaction to it, like I'm not a confrontational person at all. So when that happens, like I feel very sad. Like if I hear that someone is saying like I'm stupid behind my back to my peers, I'm just gonna be like, wow, that really hurts my feelings. And then like tried to find consolation in my friends, you know. I did actually go to my general manager and have a talk about it, but I don't think it fixed anything, because you can't fix someone's heart. And the fact that like somebody has that in their heart has nothing to do with me. Also, I have another manager who's like, she's pretty racist. I think she thinks she's not racist because she has a black baby. Like, her baby's daddy is black. But she said some super inappropriate things to my black coworkers, and I was just stunned that they would put up with that. I guess they probably felt the same way I felt, that that's your manager and you can't say anything. I should not be subjected to that, and my black coworkers should not have been subjected to that. She should be fired. I don't know. That's just me. I'm done. Reason number 4 why I quit my job was because I really want to make YouTube a bigger part of my life. I hope that one day it brings me income. Number 4 is that I want YouTube to be my career. I've always like wanted to be creative, and I could make a whole nother vlog about this and how my mom like really discouraged me from doing creative things because there was no like, you know, retirement. I've always like been very into music, and I've always been very into photography, which as an extension I was into acting and videography as well. So sorry, some people just like looked at me. Hello. But yeah, so I've always been really on the creative side, and my mom highly discouraged me from doing any of those types of jobs because they don't have insurance and they don't have a 401k and all of that like very normal stuff that moms want for their kids. I just really didn't follow that path because like I spent a lot of time trying to please my mom, and that's again a whole nother vlog. I just really want to get back to the root of like what drives me, like what really excites me. I feel like if I put my heart into that kind of stuff, that eventually it will become a career. And that kind of moves me into reason number 5. Reason number 5 is me time. I didn't expect that when I quit my job, the coronavirus was going to take over the world, and that I was going to become a stay-at-home mom, and like my daycare closed, and I thought that I was going to have daycare for my son, and that I would spend like 4 hours a day working on myself and all the things that I want to work on, but that didn't happen. Thank you, coronavirus. I really do feel a need to like work on my fitness, like my YouTube channel to be about like my fitness journey, and then also like motherhood and like my music and my other creative outlet. Every single time I tell somebody that I want to start a YouTube video, they always tell me, you know, pick your niche and like niche down very narrow and then broaden as you grow. And that's fine, but I have so many things that inspire me daily that I love, that I want to do, and fitness and losing weight and being healthy is one of them. I really want to get back into yoga. I love learning languages. I want to get fluent Spanish. I need to learn Turkish because my husband is Turkish. I want to manifest and meditate more. I want to work on like, there's just so much out there that I really need to focus on and change within myself. So all of that was supposed to be during this time, and I still have a little time left. But yeah, that's reason number 5 why I quit my job. Those are all the reasons why I ended up quitting my job, and I just want to tell you guys a little quick story real quick before I wrap up this video. I manifested quitting my job. I manifested it, and I'm going to tell you how and why. While I was going to my job, every single day I would be like, do I really want to do this? Like, is this what I'm going to leave flying for? One day I went to lunch and I took my journal with me where I write down everything, and I was like, if I wanted to quit today, what would I say? What would I put in a 2-week notice? And so I wrote it down, and I said, you know, these are the reasons why I want to quit. And then I looked at the calendar and I was like, what would 2 weeks from tomorrow be if I turn this in tomorrow? And it was March 20th. And when I got back to work that day, my boss was in his office, but like I couldn't see him. The break room is like this, and then when you walk in, here's like a big open room, and then there's a doorway right here, and that's the manager's office. And he has a desk where if he sat on this side, he would be facing outward. And then there were 2 chairs on this side where he would be facing inward, and I couldn't see him. I didn't know he was in his office. But he was sitting in his office, not at his desk. One of my coworkers said to me, you need to put your picture on your profile so that people can see you, blah, blah, blah. And I said to her, you know what, I just don't really think I'm going to be here long enough for that to even matter. And my boss stands up and he's like, Tara, can you come in here, please? And I was like, I think he heard me. I went in there and he was like, so, are you planning on leaving? And in that moment, I thought to myself, okay, you could lie your way out of this if you want. Oh no, that's not what I meant. I meant this. But I knew that I didn't want to be there. In a split second, I was like, yep, I'm planning on leaving. And he was like, oh, okay. So when's gonna be your last day? And I was like, March 20th. And he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, okay. And I left the office. I tell you guys that story to tell you that, first of all, manifestation really, really works, and sometimes in the simplest ways that you never think of. A lot of times when I try to manifest things, I like get them in my head and I'm like, I really want this thing. I really want it. I really want it. I really want it. And I think about it all the time and then it never happens, because that's not the way manifestation works. Why that worked that time is because I wrote it down and then I closed my journal and then I never thought about it again. That is how manifestation works. You tell the universe what you want, or you tell the universe, like, this. You can't even voice it as I want this. You have to say it like in such a way that it's already happening. It's already yours. You've already decided, and that it's happened. When I wrote down how I was going to quit, the universe was like, you're quitting. And in those moments, I thought about it and I was like, I could lie my way out of this. But I think that would just be sending a signal to the universe that I didn't know what I want, or that I was confused. And I wasn't confused. I knew I didn't want to work there anymore. So I quit. The opportunity came to me because I wrote it down. And I just want to tell you guys too, like, I know the world is in chaos right now. If you're unhappy in your place of work, if you feel that where you're working isn't serving you, if it doesn't make enough money, if it's not what you always dreamed of doing, if it's not creative enough, or let's say that you're not the creative type, but you're not getting to do like the research you want to do. Like maybe you're a scientist, you're working on projects that you're not getting to run yourself. Like, leave your shitty job. Leave your job. Find a side hustle, bartend, work in restaurants, and work on your side hustle. If you're a blogger, maybe you're an entrepreneur and you just really need the time to put towards what you love. I don't know what your situation is. I can do it. You can do it. I don't have a bunch of money saved up. I don't have, like, my husband is in school. Like, I don't have another big source of income. We were just, like, very, very lucky. And you can be too. I promise. Do not stay at your job and work hours you don't want to work, not be able to see your kids, doing things that are against your morals. Like, don't do those jobs. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video, and I hope that you guys liked it. I know it's not very interesting. I'm just like sitting in my car. I hope it inspires you to put more effort into your life's work, your passions, and your biggest hobbies. Whatever it is you do it. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me today, guys, and I love you. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, because it really supports my channel growth, and I really hope to see you guys again in the next one. Bye.